Like they pushed it up.
Hey, what is up? It is me. It is I. I am the greatest there is, the greatest there was, and the greatest there ever will be. I am greatness personified myself. Yes, yes. Greatness. Oh, thank y'all. Thank y'all for showing up on time today. I'm here. The man of the hour. The myth. The legend. The activist. The author. Philanthropist. The educator. The empowerer. The entertainer. The Hall of Famer. Dinosaur Corze Ema. So some respect. Bend the knee. Because they come from all across the world to see. The man who wears the crown that hangs 2 inches from the ground. He is your king. He is my king. He is Kyng Kevyn!
What's up, everybody? Thank you for that. That was nice. But we ain't done yet.
Oh, no. Because as you can see, we are being pulled straight in to the black hole of beauty. Yes.
Always an eye-opener.
We are in the presence of statistical excellence. He is the Grand Dame Drag Geek, the champion of drag statistics, our very own Stat Boy Rosko! Yeah! Yeah, look at it. They love me.
Yo, that intro last week was like the first 3 minutes of our show. But this week, we're back here on the GreatMines show, reviewing RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 10, Episode 6, Tournament of Drags. Drag queens. That's
Tournament All-Stars, yes.
Drag queens doing stuff on stars with all. Something like that. No, but thank you guys for tuning in. Before we get into the show, make sure you like, join the comment section, join the conversation, and hit the subscribe button. You can also hit the notification bell, so every time we go live, you get a notification, and you can join the conversation, share it with others. Thank you, Stoney, for that introduction. Thank you, Rosko, for being here with us for another episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's jump into this episode, starting with the end of last episode when the queens walk back into the workroom and they have to make some decisions on who's getting their MVQ points. Want to jump in on that one?
Yeah. Yeah. So we had the queens come back, and it was some shenanigans. Now, me personally, I was hoping that everybody would end up giving their points to Nicole and Carrie.
I was just about to say Tina.
Bring them up to 2 points each, and then everybody has a shot going into the last competition, and it's winner take all. Like, hey, is what it is. But that didn't pan out that way, you know. So what had happened was that we had Tina give her MVQ point to Nicole Paige Brooks. Nicole Paige Brooks gave her MVQ point to Carrie Colby.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then Carrie Colby gave her MVQ point to Lydia Baho Collins.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lydia Baho Collins returned the favor and gave her MVQ point to Carrie Colby. So there was some drama on the main,
course.
mainly on one person's part.
Can
honestly.
we say that this one particular person has been sour their entire bracket? Like, they were the most sensitive, most argumentative, most in their feelings, felt like they were so wrong this entire time, fell for every trap set, and also turned out some amazing looks that we were not expecting. But I feel at the end of the day, you know.
Yeah, Tina Burner, I feel like, she kind of dragged a lot of situations out of context and forgetting that this is a competition show first. And,
Mhm.
In any competition you're going to do what it takes to win. And there's no rules to say, like, how to, like, do Drag Race. There's no, like, real rule book or guidebook, how to even do All-Stars. And I think she got...
There is an unwritten rule book to Drag Race, and especially All Stars.
Well, yes. However, I think All Stars is so different every time you come. You don't go in there always knowing everything. Like, they did tell them it was going to be like a tournament bracket style, but they didn't know, like, exactly, like,
how that was going to go. And,
Yeah.
Right.
And
Or
the
the challenge-
MVQ points at that.
in the
was
challenges
process,
and everything. So when you get into these places, when you go in competition and new things are like, new rules are upon, like, the game, you got to, like, kind of play to your advantage in those situations. I think the MVQ points are one of those things that you have to just learn how to play to your advantage in the long run with the games, in which Mistress and Georges really did, especially Mistress.
Yes.
But for her to get upset at Lydia, not giving her a point when Lydia kind of already made a commitment to giving Carrie a point if she did not get in the top for last week's challenge, and when she didn't. So I think, Tina feeling wrong is just because she didn't get a point out of everybody going around to give her a point, but Lydia never made no commitment about doing that.
So, their first episode, Tina Burner was kind of like flirting with Lydia. Let's follow the storyline real quick. And then Lydia asked Mistress to be her drag mom, and Tina's beefing with the Mistress.
Mm-hmm.
So from the beginning, she was like iffy, because I think she really does like Lydia, and she was expecting Lydia to like her back at least enough to help her play the game. And then we saw in the last episode when Lydia was picking the order, she gave Lydia the option first or last, and she still was sour about it because it did not favor her. And now in the beginning of this episode, she wants Lydia to give her a point, and Lydia's like, but no, we didn't discuss anything like that. I think that Tina is just really in her feelings, because she even said it when they come back the next day. She's like, I just don't feel the same way about you that I did in this competition. And she's like, you're playing the game. And it's like, well, that's what we came to do.
Like,
we came to play the game.
Yeah, like, I don't know why she does this was RuPaul's best.
And then you also play to win. You also
Exactly.
play to win. And that's
because
the thing. Lydia made the best decision for her,
right,
and everything. So like,
it favors Carrie in the fact that, like, Carrie gets the point. But that's not to help Carrie win. That's more to help Lydia win. She doesn't want someone to get closer to her. So yeah, I don't know. Tina is just a sourpuss in this situation.
Yeah,
and I think her feelings are hurt because the girl that she liked is giving her nothing.
Yeah, but I even think, like, in her original season with Corey King and that lip sync, like, she didn't hold back on that. Like, she lip synced to send Corey home, And I think, that alone just shows that, like, as much as she did love Corey, she did not want to sit there and have to, like lose a lip sync against her, because she still wanted to win this so much more. And that's a lot, like, for, like, a person to have that integrity to be like, oh, yeah, I like you, but I really want to worry about me winning this competition. And
that's what it's about at the end of the day.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Jaja.
Thank you.
Hey, first off, hey, Jaja.
Hey.
That's one of my home baby. Like, Jaja takes care of me. Some of the best makeup you guys saw me in last season of Halloween Nights at the Haunt, Jaja did. Like, the best nights. I even got some pictures of those best nights, but that's the makeup artist. Actually, our Halloween look for the costume party that Rosko and I went to, Jaja came over and hooked us up. So yeah, y'all need a good makeup artist? Look at this one. Anyway, Tina is definitely, I should look that up there. Tina's definitely out of her depth with this game. It seems like socially, the way that I think Nicole Paige Brooks is, in terms of like just her drag and being up to date with what's going on, she's in a world of her own. But she showed up for a pageant and other girls are playing Survivor.
No, literally.
Yeah, and she doesn't understand why they're not playing the same game she's playing. But anyway, we get to the next day and they're around the table in the workroom. They're talking about this. And if you guys watched Untucked, there was a moment when Mistress was stirring the pot, as Mistress does, and she was trying to convince Lydia and Tina to kind of like snub Nicole and Carrie again. And Tina said, I want no part of this. Lydia said, I mean, it makes sense. So in the midst of all this bickering back and forth, Mistress says, well, y'all know Tina was telling us if we were in the bottom to not give it. Basically, she accused Tina of what she did.
You mean very well. She accused Mistress.
No, Mistress accused Tina of what Mistress
did.
actually did.
Yeah.
Yes. Like there wasn't cameras and we're not on a reality show.
Right.
You know, so hey.
So that's what I love about Mistress, because she knows she's messy. She owns it. She'll stir the pot, and we love it. But it got so bad. It's like Mistress is, I hate to say it because, you know, we don't like bullies, but in some sense of the word, Mistress really is being a bully. Mm-hmm. She's laying traps that are so easy for Tina to fall into.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say being a bully though. Like I can see how it comes off being a bully, but she really is just like
it looks like bully behavior.
It to me, it's like playful, malicious behavior. Now, how you see it as bullying is dependent on
malicious is the bully part.
Well, I feel like in malicious in the sense of like, you know, she's doing it to like, you know, rob you up and not so much to like make them feel bad. Like that's never her thing. And she even owns up when she apologizes and stuff. Like, especially if you do watch, you know, Mistress Mondays for certain people, she like owns up and apologizes when she does make some people type of way. So that alone lets you know that she's not essentially trying to like hurt people. She just is very playful.
I think if you pay attention to Mistress, you realize like, no, she really is just joking. She's doing the drag shade thing. She actually wants you to banter back with her. Mm-hmm. And if you just do it in a way that makes you feel like you're falling into a trap, she's just going to keep laying them for you. Mm-hmm. That's all.
Yeah, I live.
I am a big-ass wooden spoon stirring the pot on TV is what Mistress Isabel Brooks would say if she was dressed as a big-ass wooden spoon stirring the pot on TV. Yeah.
Exactly. So Ru enters the workroom, and she explains to them that this week's challenge, Maxi Challenge, will be the remaking of Star Booty, the rebooty, where she's going to reprise her role as Star Booty, and the queens would originate their roles with these original characters.
Star Booty, the rebooty, the movie musical.
So
yeah,
Ru says, "I am not going to cast. I'm gonna leave that up to you guys." So now it's up to these 6 queens to pick their roles, and in true Mistress fashion, she picks everybody's role in so many ways. She just knew like it would be smart to have her, Georges, and Lydia on the same team, leaving Tina, Nicole Paige Brooks, and Carrie Colby to team up on the other team. Mm-hmm. And it's not fair to say that they're the weaker bunch because I think they all have good strengths, but they were the most discordant group because whereas I think Carrie's look and her performance was really good, and she can move a bit more, and Tina can move. Nicole Paige Brooks is not a dancer. And say what y'all want. I did not like Tina's voiceover.
Yeah, and actually to that point, I feel like, you know, coming off the last episode where they just did like a whole like rap and roast thing, I feel like Mistress always acknowledged of like how they were critiquing them on like their rapping skills and their show presence. Then this is a musical, so only the difference is that like y'all have to sing and just dance even more.
Well, and it's a character. You know, you have to bring the character to life. I think that it was definitely Tina Burner playing a role was what we saw instead of, you know, blank, you know, T. You know, we didn't see T played by Tina Burner. We saw Tina Burner playing T. Hey, Mom.
Right.
Like, whereas Carrie, we saw Mimi, you know, on stage being played by Carrie Colby, you know. And I was even okay with Nicole Page Brooks because I felt like, Coffee, like, oh, okay, Coffee, I know that lady. Like, like,
exactly.
But they weren't the strongest, is what I was saying from like last week's performance, just in terms of like a lot of like that stage presence of what they were talking about. Not so much Carrie, but like but like Nicole and Tina. So it would make more sense like to pair Lydia, because that's her daughter, and Georgia, because that's her girlfriend, and then have those three who like are literally not the best in this type of like realm, and aside from Carrie, but it's like when you have two weakest link, your team as a whole, and not that they judge it as a team, your team as a whole is probably going to not stand out as much as the other,
or stand out for the wrong reasons,
right?
But also, I think it's a credit to Mistress to even pay attention to who's doing what and what challenge to like even plot her next move. Like she's so methodical with it.
She's a mathematician.
Yes, she's
mathing.
Like she's mathing with the numbers. She's mathing with the performances. Like she's really paying attention to the girls.
Alan Cummings, you get Mistress Isabel Brooks on Traitors. Oh my gosh, that will be one of the highest rated seasons of Traitors.
Promise you.
Like you guaranteeing an Emmy. You are guaranteeing an Emmy. Like yes. Like now I don't give rumors, rumors that Bianca is on the cast.
Is it bad that I'm not as excited as if you were to tell me it was freaking Mistress?
Right. But
like Bianca she's shady, but she's no Bob.
Yeah, no,
she's definitely no Mistress.
I definitely think that she's going to be the most entertaining faithful. Like because there's no way you're making Bianca a traitor. She's
a faithful.
Like as entertaining as that would be. But she would be a faithful, and I think that she would like be more entertaining TV as a faithful because her, pulling people's cards and stuff like that, and coming up with stuff and asking.
And I think that
what do you do?
Like, you know what? I would see Bianca being the one to banish a bunch of traitors.
Yeah.
They about to kill her. They about to kill her.
Yes.
They about to kill her.
Yeah. I think they're definitely going to be. She's going to be on the short list to kill. Like if she's not one of the first people that they kill.
Unless she just kept her mouth shut halfway through and only like threw funny shade just to get along with everybody, and then halfway through
started coming on and being the most faithful, and stuff. Yeah.
She could win it.
Look
actually, if she played it right.
Yeah, go to a trade. But yes, Mistress Isabel Brooks as a traitor. Do it because
listen, the ratings for this show will go through the roof. RuPaul's Drag Race will be again the second most watched show, competition show, if you put Mistress on the Traitors.
Oh my goodness!
I promise you,
because she was able to basically just weasel everybody into doing what they did.
The way I think that All Stars 10 is Mistress's audition tape for the Traitors. Honestly,
yes.
And she did it in front of their faces. Imagine if she had the cover of Night in a Cloak to do this.
Right, because the way that the roles ended up going was the way that she wanted them to do. So the Booty Squad, T ended up being Tina Burner. Coffee was Nicole Page Brooks. Mimi was Carrie Colby, and then
Carrie Colby wanted to be Mixie or whatever.
Foxy,
right? But Mistress found a way to say, but you're more the pretty girl. And Carrie just, I looked at this. Oh, you too easy. Carrie was way too easy with that one.
Yeah, it's true. You have a I am pretty.
Like, just compliment you and get you to do whatever I want you to do. Oh my gosh, don't be that easy.
Oh, please. Please be that easy.
In the competition, okay? How about that? Okay. How about that? In the competition, don't be that easy. In real life, please don't be that easy.
Please be
as much as Stoney may want you to be, please don't be that easy.
I will take care of you. You will be fine. Don't be that easy. Yes.
It's a rap, Rose. Don't be that easy. No. All right. So, Mistress, Georges, and Lydia, their roles were?
Yep, they were. So, Foxy was Mistress Isabel Brooks. Moxie was Lydia Butthole Collins. And Pam was Georges. Yes.
So,
the Agents of Puss. The powerful underground sisterhood syndicate or something like that.
Something like that.
Yes.
Why we move together like that, though?
That's how you gotta do it.
But that's the challenge this week is
Yes.
musical.
Yes. So it was a musical, and Star Booty was played by RuPaul, and she came out, did a little number to that beautiful song that Rosko was so greatly singing. Star Booty, booty booty. Yeah, it was cute. She had like frills and stuff like that, a frilly pantsuit, different from RuPaul, but okay.
I didn't like it.
He didn't like it.
I did not like the look.
I thought it was okay, but it was just okay.
You ever look at some of the old seasons of Drag Race and you're like, oh, Michelle lost weight. Oh, Rue lost weight.
Mm-hmm.
Or Rue gained weight, actually, because Rue looked smaller, way smaller back in the day. So Michelle lost it, Rue gained weight. But in this particular episode, she looked a little stocky to me. Like,
a little thicky. What's that? We got another comment.
Yeah, let me see what that is. Odalia in this bracket with Mistress Child. I would love to see Tamisha go at it. Yes, Tamisha definitely.
I don't think they would because that's her auntie. Unless like she really would turn to like that her auntie.
I don't know.
I don't think she would.
I think Tamisha Iman would not even stand for Mistress's both. Oh my gosh, I think they would be fighting.
I want to go back to something that you highlighted, Stoney. Mistress on an episode with Aja and Candy. Candy Muse. If that was ever a thing, I would love to see that.
Oh my gosh, the poor mistress, because she would not do anything because those two would gang up on her so viciously.
It's kind of like seeing her get a taste of her own medicine, because she dishes it, and for the most part, she can take it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love to see her defend herself in that situation.
Yeah. So the overall, I thought the musical was entertaining. It is no Wig Loose. It is no Sound of Rusic. So. What was the other good one?
Not season 17.
Oh yeah, they played
the Wicked Wiz of Oz.
It should have been so much more, and it was not.
Yeah,
and it was not the Queen's fault either.
No.
Nope.
So yeah. So, but it was okay. It was entertaining. Like I would go as far as to say that this musical was better than the musical from season 17.
Way better.
But not the Queen All Stars 9.
Yeah, it was. In my opinion, yes,
this one I like the one from All Stars 9.
I like the one from All Stars 9. That was just a little bit better.
Yeah.
What?
The All Stars 9 one was high.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, especially
the way Georgia's ate it up like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she killed it.
Okay, wait. What was I thinking about?
And then
All Stars 8.
And then Roxy killed it too with Pennywise.
Yeah. Oh God, that was so good.
Right. That's what I said. That was a good one.
Yeah. So All Stars 9 is better than this one.
But this one was better than others that were just like lackluster.
But I think another thing is too, and maybe this might be like a hot take too. I don't think musicals work with like a shorter cast. Like granted, it did work for season 15 when it was just like the 6 of them. Then, but I think for the All Stars, I don't think this was like the right cast to do like a musical. Like in terms of like the theme for Star Booty. Like if they did Star Booty maybe for a bigger cast, I think it probably would have worked a little bit different. The story kind of felt really like
rushed and
out of place. Like I did enjoy it, but like I do think it was because only like it was 6 queens performing.
These queens tonight, me and MIB would have been throwing hands off production because she finna keep getting everything she wants. LOL. I would have told Carrie to speak the fuck up. I shouldn't have said it out loud. But yeah. Keep shining, guys. Thanks, Jamal.
Hey, yo.
What's up, Sadan?
Hey.
But where was I at? We were talking about the Star Booty. RuPaul, when she walked into the workroom and she explained what the Maxi Challenge is, told the girls that you guys will be working on the rebooty with me, helping me to reprise my role. So in the beginning of the performance, Ru does her thing, and then she sprayed with some aerosol thing and passes out. Come to find out, she's been kidnapped. The first set of queens come out: Carrie Colby, Nicole Page Brooks, and Tina Turner. Yes. Tina Burner. Individually, how did you guys like their performances?
I could say George's was the only
the first one. Carrie, Tina, and Nicole. We get to George's.
So the Buddha Squad.
Yes.
We're rating the Booty Squad. All right. So yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Carrie did stick out to me, even just like rewatching it. I definitely think that she was like the only standout. But I just think like her group like kind of like had them like fall back as like a whole. But Nicole Page Brooks definitely was noticeable of like her like lack of dancing skills, and just like, you know, her overall performance was just very like, you know, hey, I'm here trying to get this money. Like on Friday night, just worked another shift. Got come back here tomorrow. That's what it gave. It was like very like laissez die, which is Nicole Page Brooks drag.
Yes. Yes.
And Tina just didn't stand out at all. Tina was kind of just like really boring to me. Like this was not like a good musical for her to be in. Carrie's the only one that really like stand out. But even then, like I just felt like, you know, as a whole, it wasn't like a good like performance because like they weren't in sync. No. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely like I would say that Tina's performance was so solid that it just it was foundational, you know, where everyone else kind of was on top of her, you know, because she kind of was like the glue that kind of made it all make sense. Because
it does make
like
sense.
Yeah, because like Nicole Page Brooks was unhinged, you know, but it was all unhinged in a good way because it's like, oh, okay, Coffee, I know her. Right. You know, I know a crazy lady like that. Like it was like, and then Mimi, it was a fully formed, you know, character. Like, you know, and it was outstanding. Carrie did outstanding to me. Like I thought that to me, if I was real, Carrie would have been in. And see, the thing about it is that this is why I always say runways kind of do matter, because runways can either hold you back or push you over, you know, because yes, depending on the challenge. And I felt that, you know, based off of the performance alone, Carrie Colby would have been in my top 2, you know, based off of performance alone, Carrie Colby would have been in my top 2, but that runway, which we'll get to later, it just wasn't, you know what I mean, because once we get to the other group, there were 2 other folks that were on par with her, you know, because rewatching it, I did see flaws, and with my actor's eye and my director's eye and stuff like that. Like I did see flaws in both the other folks that made up my top 3 performance and everything. But Carrie was to me great at the end of the day.
So I like how you both like defined that group. Collectively, definitely Tina Burner was the glue that held them together. But I think that she was so mid in this performance that it, like you said, it wasn't enough for her to stand out. And I think Carrie and Nicole gave the best examples of standing out for the best and the worst ways. Again, I think Carrie's performance was flawless. Her character, her dancing, her lip sync, her look, flawless. Nicole, opposite to what I normally would say, because like with Lexi Love last season with her Gilbert Godfrey impersonation on Snatch Game, that I think she completely sucked. I think everyone else thought so as well, but they all said it sucked so much that it was funny. I didn't read it that way. I just thought it sucked. It was a whole bunch of self-defeat and self-sabotage.
Yeah, it sucked.
That I personally did not like. However, with Nicole Page Brooks, I don't know that she sucks. I just think that she has a way of doing things, lackadaisical, that she, you know, is still uniquely her and it's still very entertaining. We know the type of queen now that Nicole Page Brooks is. I am honestly a little sad that this is the last episode with her bracket, because I actually want to see more Nicole Page Brooks on TV now.
Nicole Page Brooks is like she reminds me of my the first time that I had voodoo chips. I don't know if you've had Zapp's voodoo chips. Yeah. Where the very first time you pop them in your mouth, you are like, what is this? And then you pop another one in your mouth and you're like, okay, this is an interesting journey and I'm digging it. Like, and you're pumping them in the mouth and they're full of preservatives and they're fried and not good because like all potato chips, like we just eat them. Like she is potato chips. Like she is literally dragged potato chips. Like you know it's bad, but you just eating it out. You know it's bad for you. You know these are bad for you, and they don't fill you up. You know what I mean? Like a whole bag of chips does not fill you up. No one says, "Oh, I am full after eating a bag of chips." It could even be one of those big old family size bags. You ate the whole thing to yourself. You not full after that,
And you want to go back and get some more.
Yeah. You want to go get some more chips, but you need, you know what I mean? You need sandwiches, something more substantial, more meaty drag queen.
But that's why it's not a show about Nicole Page. Yes. That's why you need her in a competition show where she's completely clueless as to what game she's playing, but she's playing it.
Yeah.
And that's the fun part. Because Nicole is playing a game.
Yeah.
And she's so happy about her 1 point.
Yeah. I'm Celebrity Big Brother. Oh.
There you go.
Nicole Page Brooks on Celebrity Big Brother. Yes, please.
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
Yes,
please. Because she would be figuring out the game as she went along, and it would be great. Like so great. I've never watched Big Brother. What the hell is this? Like, is somebody gonna be watching me? Where's he at? Like.
No,
oh goodness.
Their song that they did was like a booty call song.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually really fun. They were like doing this little fighting the dancer thing. Dancers was flipping all over the place. One dancer did this little back flip, and those pants were so tight on him. I had to keep rewinding that part over. No, I'm playing. But then we have the Ages of Puss, which was Mistress Isabel Brooks, Lydia Butthole Collins, and Georges.
Can't stop the puss, but too damn strong. Right there.
All right. So here's another thing: the two different groups. The Ages of Puss were so coordinated, like they were color coordinated in their outfits. Their looks were uniquely theirs, but you can still tell that they were a part of this syndicate.
Right.
And they were the villains, and they loved it, and we loved it. So with Mistresses first, what was her cat? She was Foxy.
Foxy, yes, the mastermind
of the entire bracket, not just this song. Mistress's look, she did like the hair outfit type thing. I liked it. It was drag. It was fun to watch. I think that Mistress gave us the Tina Burner version of this bracket. I mean, of this group. Her performance was good. I think that,
but it was mid.
Yeah, it was mid. But I feel like actually she was the weakest of this group.
Yes,
I would say she was the weakest of the group, but I don't want to say
no. Yes,
like
she was.
Like
she was
bad. She just didn't stand out as much.
She was the weakest of the group.
Right.
She really didn't.
When you stack up, when you rank the performances, there are two drag queens. The other two drag queens are higher, so technically that makes her the weakest.
Yeah,
seriously. Yeah.
And
you were weak,
but she was still the grounding of the group. She was still the one to kind of like keep it grounded. But she did good.
Yes,
yes.
Not many critiques.
She did. She still did great. Yes, even and I understand where Michelle was coming from, because one of Michelle's critiques was that she should have the way that the hair was, the way that the hair was falling on her body. It kind of. In her outfit, it kind of was, blocking her arms, and it made her look like she was having T-Rex arms at certain points. And I saw the T-Rex arms at certain points, but
it didn't bother me.
It didn't bother
like
me.
Like RuPaul said, it didn't bother me.
It didn't bother me until you pointed it out. So, I can't, fault her for that. Granted, I do also think that there were moments, not just talking about the T-Rex arms, but there were moments in the performance where she could have been bigger. She could have been more exaggerated. She could have been more, especially in the background. Those background moments where you are still in your character and everything else, those matter, and they set the they bring cohesion to the overall scene and everything. And I found it that these guys, I found it that Carrie was doing that. She was staying in character whether she was at the forefront or not. Yeah. Whereas you could tell Tina and Nicole were thinking, same deal with Mistress. Mistress was thinking more so than living in the moment and being the character, much like her other two counterparts in this group. They were their characters the whole time.
Yeah. So. It was like you said with Tina. I saw Tina playing T versus seeing Mimi played by. And it's the same thing with Mistress. I felt like you saw Mistress portraying the role of Foxy.
But do you think, because Mistress so cocky, do you think she did that on purpose? Like, so
Well-
to ensure Lydia will go against us and George is definitely going to get in.
So Mistress's plan was we either have to both win or both lose.
Right.
So I think that she probably was giving a meh performance because she really was doing math in her head about who's going to be where and how the points could stack up.
Yeah, and I think she really knew she was going to make good TV with like the whole Carrie Colby thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which we'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Lydia Butthole Collins played Moxie. I thought Lydia was absolutely great.
Absolutely.
There were moments where she kind of did lose herself, but then she would snap right back into it and everything. But that's my only critique of her performance, is that there were moments where you could tell like she was thinking about, oh, what do I need to do next and stuff like that. And then but she snapped right back into it. Like it was like, oh, I'm Moxie. I'm supposed to be, I'm too damn strong.
And she also embodied this villain role.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm liking Lydia.
Yeah,
as a
especially
villain.
during the dances. Like she was hitting it. She was hitting those dances. Like I was like, oh, okay, Lydia.
All right. So this is the last bracket for Lydia right now as it is going.
Mm-hmm.
I am so happy and so proud, even though I wish it was Crystal Envy, but I am so happy and so proud to see that Lydia is in the mix with all of these legends and all-stars, and she stacks up.
Mm-hmm.
She has been killing
Yes.
it. As much as I want it to be Crystal, Lydia proves why it's her.
That was something that I was also concerned, and I know we talked about this, and you guys have heard us talk about this on the show, based off of, because we're serious drag journalists here, and we hear rumors, and we knew through the rumor mill that Lydia Butthole Collins was going to be on this season, and we were like, we don't know if she was the best one from this season.
Right.
Like, if you needed somebody from this season, like, wouldn't you have chosen Crystal? Like, we was thinking that, leaning there, but Lydia was like, hold my burr in true
Literally.
Western Pennsylvania fashion, and just
But she did the damn thing. She
Yeah.
showed y'all why she was called back.
Okay, she showed you why I'm an all-star.
Mhm.
Exactly. And then we have freaking Georges.
The all-star.
Yeah, I mean, her performance was great. Her performance was absolutely great. I thought that my one critique with Georges' performance was that her voiceover and her recordings were so good and so full of emotion and character and stuff like that. I didn't think that she brought enough to the stage to match the vocals, in my opinion.
I can see that. I think it was on Pit Stop with Valentina where they made mention of how Georges in this performance, she actually emoted in her face more, where normally she just has that blank doll stare that she does. And this one, she actually gave you some character with it.
But there were
I see
moments
what you're
where
saying.
it was like off, and it wasn't.
Honorable mention, by the way, to Leland and to Adam Shankman, who were guest choreographers and producers for the vocals and dance or whatever.
And Adam Shankman was also the guest judge for this episode as well.
Right. So they definitely helped to pull these characters out. I think that something that RuPaul should probably do a little bit more is add like an acting coach in some of these challenges, because some of the girls be so close, but they just don't know how to, like, in acting, you want to give more and let them pull you back versus you not giving enough and you don't have anything to work with. I don't like the brackets, but the girls have been doing well as far as the performances. I actually really like the brackets.
I don't like how short the brackets are. Like, I feel like if they can like make them maybe like another week or maybe like
spoilers,
maybe 4 weeks, like it's like enough. I feel like maybe one more week.
Jeff
If it was like more queens too, but the brackets this I can think can get refined for All Stars 11. They do choose to bring it back.
They have, because spoilers. T.S. Madison on Nene Leakes show did say that they are currently they have just wrapped season 18 and are currently getting ready to film season 11. So
Well,
and
we should be hearing like in the summer, like usually like around June, July is when they start like calling the queens to come back.
well, no, there have been queens that have already been called, and so there's been rumors and stuff like that are out. But so
But
they have the queens and the amount of queens that are rumored. It is going to be another tournament style in next year,
and I'm okay with that. Back to George's though, she agreeing with what Elijah's saying here, she's one of those performers and dancers where neck down she's 10 out of 10, but in her face is nothing giving to the performance. Just like Plastique, amazing performer, but the face isn't performing 100%.
even though it's flawless.
Both.
Plastique
Both
doesn't actually know how to lip sync, so it's sad.
I mean, right, there's that. But no, with George's, I think like she gave us a great performance. Half her performance was up in the air, which
Plastique need to like she.
So George's, as I was saying, half her performance was up in the air in the arms of the dancers, and there was that one thing she did where they held her up and then she flipped down and then back up. Like that to me, nobody pointed that out, but that was like a George's thing to do, but she elevated it more than what she normally did. She always does this one thing to gag me, and that's why I love George's, because she's so small and petite, but her drag still is so big and loud, minus her face a lot of the times.
Yes.
But everything else, and even her face is painted to like perfection.
Right.
So it's hard to pick something apart from George's because she's just that girl.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So I mean, and that was on a rewatch where I found it, because honestly, like, and we're gonna move into the runways and everything as well, which the runway was OK Corral or Wild West or something like that was the runway. And we'll touch on our top 3 runway looks of the night before we get into the drama that is the final
MVQ points
and everything. And plus we are working on a time limit as well. So so runways, right? My top 3 for the runway, which was like OK Corral, Wild West or something like that, so my top 3, I would have to say that I love Tina Burner's look. Did love Tina Burner's look. I just wish that she leaned a little bit more into the whole Wonder Woman reference, especially because that would kind of justify the dark hair, and it just kind of looked like you were saying, like it kind of looked like she just wanted to wear dark hair. But I get what she was going for when she was like, Wild Western Wonder Woman, but I just think that it could have been executed a little bit better.
The bad thing about her look to me is that I didn't get the reference until you said it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I see that now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if I gotta explain the joke, it ain't funny.
Right.
I mean,
that's why I say she should have leaned more into it, like had the tiara,
literally, if she had a tiara or some sort,
or even like a little cowboy hat that was nestled into the wig, and then had the tiara on it. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, or even like if it was just gold and looked like the tiara, but it was just a little cowboy hat nestled into the wig, and then the sleeves would have been more gold. It would have read, Western Wonder Woman at that point. But,
right. And that would have been a perfect look. With Tina, there's nothing else I could say to that. That was a perfect summary of that. You said your top 3?
Yeah.
Who's next?
Next would have to be Lydia Boho Collins. Loved that hat. That hat was like a cowboy hat and a cow head, like mended into one. I thought that was beautiful. Like that was my favorite thing about her outfit was that that hat.
So one, Kai, I want to put your stuff up, but your stuff is like in the progression of the show, so I'm gonna have to come back to some of the things that you were saying.
We are.
But Elijah, Tina really gained me as a fan this season. She really elevated from season 13. I know we saw some of these girls past 3 weeks. Yeah, I think Tina definitely elevated. I like her more than I did in season 13, but she's not up there yet. She's still not one of my favorite girls. So we had Lydia Boho Collins, who I, watching back, liked her outfit less the more I looked at it. It's still an amazing look. It was still one of the best looks on the runway, but I liked her outfit less because of things. Like the more I saw it, I started to pick things apart that I didn't like.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I just can't like that hat was popping. Like I don't care. Like the hat is the outfit to me. Like
So then I already know who your third person is going to be, but I'm gonna let you say it.
oh yes, my third person, and the person who I think won the runway was George's. Oh my God!
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm leaving my boots at the door. You getting the money up front? Like, go ahead. You can leave the door open. I don't care.
No.
Whatever saloon she is in, I am parking my rear right in that town. Like,
So,
like that was great.
George's look was this hot pink saloon girl
Mhm.
look with the feather in the hair. The hair was on point. The makeup,
little
the saloon
fascinator
gown,
thing in there. Yeah,
the way she continues to create a silhouette without padding. Like George's does drag, and she knows what she's doing. And I think it's the perfect blend of old school and new school drag that she does. She's like, yeah, I'm not going to pad, but you're still going to see the silhouette. I'm small, but I'm big. Like, yes, absolutely. I want to hear if you have anybody different, if you have a top three on the runway.
My top three was everyone you said but Tina. Kind of for the same reason. Like I didn't think of Tina till like afterwards, but I did enjoy Mistress runway look a lot better than Tina personally. Did you not?
No, I didn't.
Oh, that's okay. I like Mistress.
Yeah,
look.
okay.
The only reason why I personally like, again, Mistress is good. She was put together. I've seen it. I feel like Tina gave me something that you don't typically see from her. What you got from Mistress was like, okay, that's a Mistress look.
Right.
Not bad. It's to perfection for Mistress. Or like Mistress says about Nicole, it was good for her. But
I liked it.
But Tina's look was elevated beyond what Mistress did. Now, I agree with Stoney on my top three favorite, but I have an honorable mention that y'all have to let me get this one out.
Go ahead.
Nicole Paige Brooks came out with what is the bridle?
Yeah.
With the black mullet, had the saddle with the little foot pedal things in it.
Okay. It's like
with her,
Holsters, yeah.
It gave me 80s. It gave me camp. It gave me, girl, what the hell game are you playing?
Had the horsehair coming out between the cheeks and everything. Looked like you got a butt plug in.
Looked like yes. Oh, it was for me. It was a great look. It was Western.
Yeah, she was on right.
It wasn't the all-star elevated look that you would expect to see, and that's why it was good and bad.
Yeah.
Like, if this was another season, because I know we said, like, if we saw her at the bar, we definitely tipping the hell out of it. But I feel like if this was a regular season, if she pulled this look off in season 2, she would have gotten some type of praise for it, in my opinion. It was a very creative look. I don't care what nobody say. It was very Megan-esque.
She keep thinking it is season 2. That's her problem. She's
that I think so. You got my reference just now. I think that went over his head.
Yeah.
I mean, I did get it. Never mind.
But I like how certain girls took the Western theme and got creative. Like Nicole Paige Brooks, like Lydia Boho Collins, and like George's. Yes. So even though Tina is my pick, I have to give an honorable mention to Nicole for what she did.
Yes. So now we've come to the point of the show where RuPaul names the top 2.
No, the wrong one.
Yep.
Sorry.
Oh, let's talk about. Yeah, I feel into one of those.
That's a good one.
Carrie's look, and I was saying that Carrie Colby, and now that we've talked about everybody's performances, to me, going into the runway, it was a 3-horse race as far as for the top 2 spots. All right, between Carrie, Georges, and Lydia Boho Collins. Those were the top 3 out of the performance. Now, Carrie, and I would say that Georges' performance was slightly above Carrie's and Lydia's, slightly above. So she was the leader in the clubhouse. But then you got, Carrie and Lydia. And so it came down to the runway, to me. it would come down to the runway. If Carrie came out in a spectacular runway, I'm pretty sure she's passing Lydia and or Georges, and moving into the top two against one of those two. But it was going to be So I thought that her runway, when she came out with her runway, which was a white, like pantsuit looking thing, and then she had a cowboy hat with the crystal raindrops coming down, but the cowboy hat was like supposed to look like a cloud and everything, and like it was nice. It was a very nice look going to a Beyonce, going to a Cowboy Carter concert. Like, I'm taking pictures of you and everything because look what she wearing to the Cowboy Carter concert. Oh, it's so nice, Oh, it was, but no, that runway was not going to. She needed to come out in a runway in order to put her into the top two. And she kind of didn't. And so, we had our top two of Lydia Butthole Collins and Georges, named by RuPaul. Right. So, that's how I saw it going in.
Carrie's look is another one that I liked it less the more I looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I started picking stuff apart, like the way the outfit fit. I agree with Elijah. If it was a photo shoot, because I could easily see that.
Yeah, because in post you can do things and make it look,
exactly. But on the runway, where you already have four sets of eyes from the judges panel staring at you, and then you have these cameras with millions of people staring at you on TV, on these big screen TVs, and we paused it and rewind it. We're going to see those details, right? So like you gotta put thought into that. And I know things happen or whatever the case may be, but I didn't like the fit. After I watched it a couple of times, at first I didn't have an issue where Carson Kressley was saying that the hat was a little more square than it should be.
Yeah,
I didn't care at first, but the more I looked at it, it's like I can't get that out of my head now. So did she look beautiful? Yes, absolutely, head to toe. Did her outfit fit properly, or did it convey enough of this Western thing?
No. It just wasn't executed to the level that Lydia's and Georges's was. So
So Lydia and Georges are lip syncing to Texas Hold'em by Beyonce, the second Beyonce song of the season, right?
No,
they did Yaya.
They did Yaya for season 17.
Okay. So the first one,
second Beyonce song of the year for RuPaul.
Okay, that's where we are. Second one of the year. Now, Don't Kill Me, Beehive. I know why they picked that song for this episode. I just feel like I wanted something with a bigger tempo for the episode where Lydia Butthole Collins and Georges are lip syncing. I feel like the song didn't give them enough to do what they really do.
Yeah.
Anybody disagree with that?
No, I can understand. Like, I feel like
you disagree, or you just saying how?
No, I'm just saying.
I can agree. Like, if it was a different song, I'm trying to think of another song. Like I did enjoy Mistress and George's Hot to Go last week, but I think if Lydia and George did that probably would have been
honestly, I would have rather just see Georges and Mistress lip sync to Texas Hold'em.
Yeah,
it makes sense. It would have been a great battle of the Texas girls. I would have loved that. Hot to Go for Lydia and Georges would have been perfect because of the generation, the way they moved, they danced. I just think like this was just not the best example of, or the best pick for a song. What's up, Gret? Hey, Pop. And we got another one. The brackets are amazing. Carrie was better than Lydia. Mistress is an awful person, but great TV.
All right. That was a great comment.
Right. And there's a beat. They could have performed. They could have given more. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely thought that the lip sync, the song, I don't know if that song is a good lip sync song. I don't think that song is a good lip sync song.
On the album, so like how they did Yaya, that was a good lip
that was a song. Great song. So who are you picking for a winner?
The lip sync?
Yes.
So I thought that Lydia did well. I thought that Lydia did well, but Georges gave the more well-rounded performance, in my opinion. So I would have given it to Georges.
Who would you have given it?
Georges, same reason.
Okay, so we're all on the same page. All right, so RuPaul happens to believe the same way that we believe, and she crowned Georges the winner of that lip sync, winning a $10,000 tip and a whole point all to herself, which puts her at what?
7.5.
7.5.
Mm-hmm.
Georges is in the lead,
Mm-hmm.
followed by
Lydia
who
Collins.
has 6 points.
Yes.
No, 5.
No, she has 6.
No.
Yes, because she had 4. Because she did. Because she had 3, 1. Carrie gave her 1. She just got 2. That's 6.
Wait.
Yes, that's correct.
She had 3.
Yes.
Carrie gave her 1.
That's
Yes.
4. Yes.
And then she just won 2.
2 more.
Yeah.
Yes. So she's up to 6 points.
Yes.
To George's 7.5. Next person would be
Mistress Isabel Brooks with 4.5. Yeah.
And then we have Carrie Colby and Tina Burner with 2 points each.
2 points each.
And we have Nicole Paige Brooks with 1 point.
1 point. Yes.
Now,
that is the state of the bracket after the lip sync. Right after the lip sync. Yes.
So now, RuPaul calls the 4 bottom queens to the main stage to give out their point on the stage. First, it's Nicole Paige Brooks.
Mm-mm. Oh, yes, you're right. I don't know why I heard Mistress Isabel. You said
Nicole Paige.
I had to play it back.
Nicole Paige Brooks
Yeah.
reveals that she gives her point to Carrie Colby.
Yeah.
Then Tina Burner reveals that she gives her point to Carrie Colby. So now Carrie Colby is at 4 points.
Yes.
Same as Lydia, right?
One half point behind Mistress.
Yes. Now we have Carrie Colby and Mistress Isabel Brooks who have a point to give away.
Mm-hmm.
Carrie Colby decides to right a wrong and give a point away to someone she believes she should have given it to. And she gives the point to Tina Burner, putting her at 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's Mistress's turn.
Now, all through the episode, right, Mistress was, kind of dropping hints that, if I'm in the bottom, I might give Carrie a point because I feel bad about how I stole a point and everything before. And Carrie is, a fellow Texas queen and everything else like that and everything. And what happened?
She gives her point to Lydia.
Yeah, she gives her point to Lydia Boho Collins, giving Lydia Boho Collins 7 total points, putting her a half point behind Georges, securing her spot in the top 3, moving on to the semifinals of the RuPaul's All-Stars Season 10 Tournament of All-Stars. So, yeah, how about that? And I believe we had a comment earlier.
Wait. Oh, no, the comment earlier was, let me go back up to it, by Kai.
Yeah.
Wait, if I can find it. Jeez, here we go.
There you go.
I don't see why or how Carrie thought MIB would give her a star and not herself out of the and knock herself out of the competition. In what world does a villain self-sacrifice?
Exactly.
LOL.
Yeah.
And that's what people, and I literally said the same exact thing, and that was my whole.
We're fine.
That was my whole shtick with how she played the game. Even down to I think how Nicole Paige Brooks kind of just was obvious when the lip sync was about to start that saying to Tina we have to knock Mistress out the top, and I think Mistress probably heard that, and in a world where she had this alliance with her daughter and her closest friend, they're in the top 2. The other bitches who she already fucked over are giving points to other people. Why would they give a point to her knowing that she fucked them over? They already know that she's a villain. They already know she's a target. So why would I be like, oh yeah, let me right or wrong and give Carrie a point? Because I know
she's already like Kai said. Why would I self-sacrifice at that point?
No, she played the game.
I mean, the only way I would have given a point to, only people I would have given a point to if I was Mistress would either have been Lydia or Nicole.
Yeah,
because it wouldn't affect my game in any way. I wouldn't have given it to Tina just because I wanted to spite her. No. I wouldn't have given it to George because she's already in the spot. I wouldn't have given it to Carrie because this bitch just screwed me over, and I knew she was going to screw me over.
And I think that's the thing. Mistress always knew Carrie was never going to give her point. But she played along to her to think that she was going to give her a point because she knew she was going to do it in the long run. And she was been on that 0.5. She's like, in her, as long as I got this half point, I'm going to get in the finale. And literally, like I said before, once you had Lydia and Georges, your 2 people who were only probably going to give you a point that were in the top, they couldn't give you a point. It makes sense that you had to give your point to either one of them or like you said, Nicole Paige Brooks. That's not going to affect you not getting to the to the top.
So let me get to this real quick. And excuse me, I'm going to read through your comments. We're not going to really make commentary on it because we're about to wrap this up. But Bucking would have been better. or to make it different, have them do daughter. Like they could have emoted to daughter, but Texas Hold'em was a chop. Following that, Billy said, "We've all seen crap songs given life by good drag." That is very true. Mistress will regret this in real life. Great TV, but who's going to want to work with her after? I think there will be people, plenty of people, but I'm living for this format. I think we are too. I don't want to see this in every All Stars after, but definitely the next one, I'm here for it.
Yeah, I think Mistress is going to find a lot of work because people live off of negativity. They love that type of shit, and that's why she does it. She knows what the people want, and because she knows what people want, that's going to constantly get her booked.
I love that Nicole and Tina said, "Walking backstage, give our point to Carrie to push her through." I love that. We agree. And Billy said, "The Drag Race girls have their own community. Mistress is going to get side-eyed everywhere." That is true. Like Blue Hydrangea, how you say that name?
Hydrangea and Pangeria.
Nobody likes Blue after UK versus the World.
That's not true.
I mean, Pangina, yeah. I mean,
but even then, that's subjective.
But Pangina's so good. You can't.
Yeah, that's subjective one and two. That's like for a short time. People I like Blue Hydrangea, and people do like Blue Hydrangea, and
like I said, if Pangea Hills is good. Like
yes,
you
really,
can't. You can't deny.
And Jimbo got her crown, like they want to say because the whole with Jimbo,
when Jimbo got
but Jimbo won her crown. People should be over that now.
Jimbo got hers.
So anyway,
and that's my problem. Why didn't tell Carrie she's a fake AB? I would have gathered her by her non-existent channel on that stage. Carrie's exiting confessional 8.
She did. I was like,
and
even Mistress was falling out. She said, because Carrie really read her. It was just a case. She was, you know what? I am a fake ass bitch.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, I do feel bad because it looks like, in all of the internet activity since then and everything, it does look like there is beef between Mistress and Carrie.
Yeah, but I saw something that said that Mistress is her and Sasha. Each other,
right? But that's from a different reason from when they first came back on the season. But I know, you can even tell from
because Mistress put out a statement saying that Carrie bought stuff from the show into the real world, and she didn't Carrie. She doesn't fool with Carrie or Sasha because they can't separate the two. And, but Sasha's always been on record. You know what I mean? As saying that's how she operates on when she was on TV and her season, she kept saying, "I'm me." If you're being fake, then you know what I mean, and everything else like that. So what do you Mistress shouldn't be mad or feel some type of way, but also they shouldn't feel some type of way because Mistress made it clear that she's about making good TV and she's about making that coin and putting herself in the best position to make a coin and to be in the spotlight. But yeah, I think that they are getting to that they see each other for who they are, and they're not,
And Sugar and Spice.
I heard that she don't speak with Sugar and Spice no more.
I heard they just don't speak as much, but they do speak. They just did a whole family thing 6 months ago.
Okay. But someone read it out loud. And Elijah, we just said that. Well, no one from season 15 speaks to MIB, so someone got to be the problem. LOL, which we know is MIB. MIB needs to be on Traders. She would give that show a quick Emmy.
Yeah,
which is what we said.
Yeah, we had a whole 15-minute interlude in the middle of the show. Go back. I want to say it's probably at around the 24-minute mark of the show. We had a whole 15-minute conversation about that. Yeah, if you want to see us do a show about Traders,
yes.
And if y'all want to see us cover Traders, comment cover Traders, guys, and we will cover Traders because we do love Traders.
That's one of our favorites. So yes,
yeah.
And I said that House of Villains, absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying she's going to be booked for those type of shows.
House of Villains doesn't have the same caliber as Traders or Drag Race.
Not yet, though. I feel like it'll get there. Mistress probably will.
They on what, season 4 now?
Season 3.
The next season they shoot is going to be season 4.
Well, yes, because their season 3 about to come out.
Because Traders. We need to cover this. We have to do a breakdown of who the contestants are, and Yeah.
All right, so
'Cause I
look
think
out for
Traders
that.
is
We'll
a
be
thing.
working on Traders
I think Traders is a
in the
thing for
winter
us.
when Traders comes during the off season. I think it's during the off season, or wasn't it running when Drag Race was running?
It is.
It
Like,
is.
running
around the
next
same
year.
time as the first
So January next year.
yeah,
All
so when
right,
season
well,
18 come out, that's when we'll
Y'all
get the
want
next
two
season of
different
Traders.
shows? That's fine.
Listen, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So yeah.
But no, before we go, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Keep the conversation going on in the comment section. Thank y'all for tuning in, and it's good to see you too, Billy.
Thank you,
wait,
Elijah. Thank you, Jaja. Thank you, Billy. Thank you,
Kai. Thank you, Pop.
for
Thank you,
everybody.
Sadan. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Muhammad. Thank you. Who else? Talk too much. Okay. Well, Stoney, do you have anything to say to the people there?
Hey, keep being great. All right. Stay beautiful. All right. God bless you. Thank you for coming, and good night.